sky was getting darker.
When the sky was getting... Which one is this one?
2023.
Okay. Are we going to Washington Township High School?
Okay then.
Alright, let's start over. When the sky was getting darker. And Maddie and Mom.
Madeline.
Madeline. Okay, let's start over.
When the sky was getting darker.
When the sky
was getting darker.
And Maddie and Madeline and Mom and John and Felix all got into the vehicle to drive to Washington Township High School.
What? To watch us a big show.
To watch us a big show.
And catch the mayor again.
And catch the mayor again.
And then as we get there.
John tells you, don't get out of the car yet. And then we get out of the vehicle to join.
Even louder, so you can join the whole crowd, including...
So we can join...
all of the rest of your pack of moms.
So we can join the whole crowd, including all of the rest of your packs of moms, babies.
Stop.
Okay.
Infants.
Children. Kids. Dads.
Brothers.
Sisters.
Childhood.
Children.
Brotherhood, sisterhood.
And neighborhood.
Dads. Grandmas.
Grandpops. Aunts. Uncles. Nieces. Nephews. Cousins. Friends. Boys and girls and children and Scrooges and senior citizens.
All of the
African Americans.
And all of the whole
And all of the whole nations from all around the world.
All of the emergency jobs.
All of the emergency jobs.
All of the Petcos.
All of the Petcos.
All of the PetSmart.
All of the PetSmarts.
All of the home makeovers.
All of the home makeovers.
All of the restaurants.
All of the restaurants.
All of the cash register.
All of the cash register.
All of the food deliverers.
All of the
food deliverers from all around the world.
And all the food deliverers from all around the world. And all the hairdressers.
All of the cats and the dogs.
And all the cats and the dogs.
All of the grandparents.
And all of the grandparents.
All of the
And all of the grandsons. And all of the granddaughters. And all of the grandbabies.
All of the
And all of the
nieces. All of the grannies.
And all of the grannies.
All of the
And all of the grandpeas.
All of the Home Depot.
All of the Home Depot.
All of the candy girls, all of the candy boys.
All of the candy girls and all of the candy boys.
All of the game bros and game girls.
And all of the game bros and game girls.
All of the office workers.
All of the office workers.
All of the librarians.
All of the librarians.
All of the furnitures.
All
of the U-Haul.
Furniture.
And the public storage.
And all the public storage.
all of the hot topic.
And all of the hot topic.
All of the mailmans.
And all of the mailmans.
All of the folks.
And all of the folks.
All of the each others. We are so excited.
All of each others who were so excited.
And even all of the uncles.
And even all of the uncles.
Aunts,
aunts,
nieces,
nephews, cousins.
And cousins, babysitters, and pet sitters.
And cousins, babysitters, and pet sitters.
And fishermen.
All
gather round.
The
parking lot.
In
Washington High School.
In
Glassboro. To watch
a spectacular fireworks show.
And then
when
Maddie says, "All right, Richard Rabbit, your word is United States."
All right, and when Maddie says, "All right, Richard Rabbits, your word is United States."
United States. UNITEDDI. He says the bad word. But the first pop of the
firework.
And everyone was cheering,
everyone was cheering.
And the grandparents so excited were so canes up in the air.
And the grandparents were so excited they threw their canes up in the air. And they threw their walkers up in the air. And they threw their wheelchairs up in the air. And they threw their walking sticks up in the air. And they threw their glasses up in the air. And they threw their bow ties up in the air. And they threw their scarves up in the air. And they threw their wigs up in the air. And they threw their toupees up in the air. And they threw their suspenders up in the air. And they threw their aprons up in the air. Woo!
And they threw their scissors up. And the fasteners were very excited.
And the fasteners were very excited. And they threw their scissors up in the air. And they threw their felt up in the air. And they threw their fabrics up in the air. And they threw their thread up in the air.
And they threw their beads up in the air.
And they threw their beads up in the air.
And they threw their colors up in the air.
And they threw their colors up in the air.
And then everyone said, "Yeah!"
And then everyone said, "Yay!"
But the second round of the sparkling in the sky. And everyone got happy. But the first giant pop of the round of the sparkling in the sky. And everyone got happy. And everyone was cheering and it clapped.
Everyone got happy and everyone was cheered and they clapped. Yay!
But the second round of the biggest in the sky, then we saw a tree branch. But she's records on your sparkling in the sky. And Maddie starts getting completely wild.
And Nan tries to contain her, but no one can contain this wildness and this excitement. Woo!
And wait for the car stops and gets her Miriam Velez's phone.
And gets Miriam Velez's phone.
And then she can take a picture of them.
And then she can
take a picture. But the third round of the sparkling in the sky, and then we saw a smiley face. But the fourth and fifth round of the sparkling in the sky, and everyone got happy, but she scares the baby. All of the infants started to cry, especially the higher.
And then the mom and the dad tells the baby, "Oh, it's okay, baby. Don't cry. It's just a sparkling in the sky." And the baby got happy and started saying, "Ooh, cuckoo, gaga."
But the 6th round of the fire and 7th and 8th one in the fire.
And
Maddie tells you, "What's your name?"
And Maddie tells you, "What's your name?" "It's Steven. It's Mark. It's Anthony."
He is such a good friendly.
And he is such a good friendly.
But the 6th round, the
6th
7th round, the 10th round of the sparkling in the sky.
So the 10th round of the sparkling in the sky.
And everyone got happy.
And everyone got happy. Yay! Woo! Yay! Bravo! Woohoo! What a show! This is amazing! Whoa! Wow!
The 13th round of the sparkling in the sky.
In the 13th round of the sparkling in the sky.
And everyone got happy.
And everyone got happy. Woo! This is such a show. It's wonderful. So glad we came. Woo! We're doing the sparkling show. And then...
But she scared the kids.
And the kids started shaking and saying, "Oh, Mom, I'm so scared." And the mom tells you, "Aw, don't be scared, little ones. It's just a sparkling show in the sky. Look how colorful it is. Go on, look up." And the kids saw this and, "Wow, you're right, Mom. Yay! 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 Woo-hoo! This is so much fun." And they started to run around in circles and jump up and down and do cartwheels and flip and doing crazy. And then
Maddie tells you, "As whirl
And
while
Maddie
the sparkling
tells you,
in the sky."
"As whirl while the sparkling."
And then we saw his falling stars all over the place.
And
then we saw a spaceship.
And then we saw a spaceship. Wow, look at that. It's a spaceship.
And the mayor opens the door.
And the mayor
And the
opens the door.
Depot grabs their ladders.
And the Home Depot grabs their ladders.
And the mayor climbs up the ladders. And the mayor tells you.
And the mayor
grabs his microphone to give it to mayor.
And grabs the microphone
Mayor
to
says,
give it to mayor. And the mayor says, "Testing. Testing, 1, 2, 3.
And the whole crowd starts to clap.
And the whole crowd starts to clap. Yay! Woo!
And the mayor said,
"Whoa! What a show! Are you all having fun?"
"Yeah. Oh,
yeah.
Hello."
"Why, hello! I love your uniforms." And the crowd says,
"Thanks."
"Thanks."
And the mayor said, "Are you ready?"
"Are you ready?"
For the biggest,
most ginormous, gigantic, grandest of the grandest finales ever! And the whole crowd says,
"Yes, we are!"
"Yes, we are! Woo! Bring it on! Yay! Let the show
But the
begin!"
giant finale starts so you can feel it in your booms in your chest.
And the grandest finale starts and you can feel the booms on your chest.
And Maddie totally loses it, while the whole crowd totally loses it.
And Maddie totally loses it, while the whole crowd totally loses it. And everybody's jumping up and down and screaming and shouting and saying, "Yay! Wow! Look at that! Woo! Wow! Oh, that was so colorful! Yay! Woohoo!"
the grandparents totally loses it and so excited.
And the grandparents totally loses it. And they're so excited. And they throw their canes up in the air. And they throw their walkers up in the air. And they throw their wheelchairs up in the air. And they throw their walking sticks up in the air. And they throw their glasses up in the air. And they throw their bow ties up in the air. And they throw their scarves up in the air. And they throw their wigs up in the air. And they throw their toupees up in the air. And they throw their suspenders up in the air. And they throw their aprons up in the air.
And they throw their necklace up in the air.
And they throw their necklace up in the air. And they start to boogie down to the lucky sound. Woo!
And the kids go wild.
And the kids go wild.
Yay!
Woo-hoo! Oh, yay! Yay! Woo-hoo! This is so much fun!
And they throw their caps up in the air.
And they throw their caps up in the air.
And they throw their bows up in the air.
And they throw their bows up in the air.
And they throw their bracelets up in the air.
And they throw their bracelets up in the air.
And they throw their bell bottoms up in the air.
And they throw their bell bottoms
And
up
she
in
started to race with the car wheels and
And
just
they start
jumping
doing
around
the
all over the place and doing their somersaults.
and doing somersaults and jumping up around and down and yay!
And the Home Depot totally loses it.
And the Home Depot totally loses it. And they throw their aprons up in the air. And they throw their ladders up in the air. And they throw their tools up in the air. And they throw their drills up in the air.
And they throw their hammers up in the air.
And they throw their hammers up in the air.
And they throw their nails up in the air.
And they throw the nails up in the air.
And they throw their orange bucket up in the air.
And they throw their orange bucket up in the air.
And they throw their paints up in the air.
And they throw their paints up in the air.
And they throw their inflatable up in the air. And they throw their wooden up in the air.
And they throw the wood up in the air.
And the crowd says,
And the crowd says,
"Yay! Free
Yay!
inflatable!"
free inflatables for everyone! Woohoo! I'll put it on my lawn. Woohoo!
And the Lowe's totally loses it.
And the Lowe's totally loses it.
And he throws their aprons up in the air.
And they throw their aprons up in the air.
And they throw their
tape measure up in the air. And they throw their levels up in the air.
And they throw their ladders up in the air.
And they throw their ladders up in the air.
And they throw their buckets up in the air.
And they throw their blue buckets up in the air.
And they throw their tools, including
And they throw their tools up in the air, including their drills.
hammer.
And their hammers up in the air. And they throw their nails up in the air. And they throw their paint up in the air. And they throw their paintbrushes up in the air.
And they throw their inflatable up in the air.
And they throw their inflatables up in the air. And the crowd's like, yay, free inflatables. Ooh, I'm going to put this in my yard. Woohoo!
And the BK totally loses it.
And the BK totally loses it. And they throw the burgers up in the air. And they throw the buns up in the air. And they throw their french fries up in the air.
And they throw their sodas up in the air.
Throw their sodas up in the air.
And they throw their soda dispensers up in the air.
And they throw their soda dispensers up in the air.
And they throw their cheese.
And they throw their cheese up in the air.
Burger.
And they throw cheeseburgers up in the air. And they throw the nuggets up in the air. And the crowd goes wild. Yay! Free food! Yum, 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 yum.
And the food deliveries. And the food guys.
And the food delivery and the food guys and cow.
And the mailman totally loses it.
Totally loses it. And they throw their pizza boxes up in the sky. And they throw their bags of food up in the sky. And they throw their mail up in the sky. And they throw their packages up in the air.
For Maddie.
What, Maddie?
For Maddie.
For Maddie to catch. Yay, Maddie got so many packages. Woo-hoo!
And the blue box.
And the blue box.
And they throw their box up in the air.
And they throw their box up in the air.
And yay, free food.
Yay, free food. And free mail. Woohoo.
And the sailor totally loses it.
And the
sailor totally loses
it. And he throws their sailor up in the air.
And they throw their
sailor gloves up in the air. And they throw their badges and pins up in the air.
And they throw their guns up.
And they throw their guns up in the air.
And they throw their anchor up in the air.
And they threw their anchors up in the air. And they threw their binoculars up in the air.
And she started to. And they throw their. And they throw their scissors up in the air.
And they throw their scissors up in the air.
Yay!
Woo!
And the hairdresser totally loses it.
And the hairdresser totally loses it. And she throws her aprons up in the air. And she throws her gloves up in the air. And she throws her scissors up in the air. And she throws her clippers up in the air.
And the hair color sprayer totally.
And the hair color sprayer totally loses it. And they throw the hair color spray up in the air.
And she throws her hairdressers up in the air.
And the hairdresser. And they threw the hairdressers up in the air. Woo!
And they throw their hair grower up in the air.
And they throw their hair grower up in the air. And they throw their hair shavers up in the air.
And the paramedics totally loses it.
And the paramedics totally loses it. And they throw their gloves up in the air. And they throw their
medical equipment up in the air.
medical equipment up in the air.
And they throw their blood pressure up in the air.
And they throw their blood pressure machine up in the air.
And they throw their shots up in the air.
And they throw their shots up in the air.
And they throw their bandage up in the air.
And they throw their bandage up in the air. The crowd says, yay, free bandage!
But she hits the baby with the shot.
But it hit the baby with the shot. Oh, wee! Oh, wee! And the mommy tells the baby, it's okay. I have a band-aid for you. Oh, goo-goo gaga.
And they throw the shots up in the air.
And they throw the shots up in the air.
And they throw their medicine up in the air.
And they throw their medicine up in the air. Oh, gross, yucky, disgusting.
And they throw their treatment up in the air.
And they throw their treatments up in the air.
Ah. Ah. And she started to boogie down to the funky sound.
And they start to boogie down to the funky sound.
And the mailman caught the mail.
And
all of the Maddie starts to move around so much.
And then Maddie starts to move around so much, and Nan tells you,
calm down, Maddie.
Calm down, Maddie.
But Maddie's
going wild, and she cannot contain her excitement, and she's totally losing and going insane.
Wildness. You're going wild.
And she starts going wild and jumping up and down, and yay!
And Nan tells you, oh my goodness.
And Nan tells you, oh my goodness. Wowee!
And the mayor said, wow.
Wow! What a show!
That was spectacular.
That was spectacular.
What a
wonderful, spectacular 4th of July. Did you have fun?
Let me hear you.
Let me hear you shout. Woo! Yay! Yay! Yay!
And mayors tell you.
And the mayor tells you.
Ladies and gentlemen.
Ladies and gentlemen.
Are you ready? Are you ready to catch me?
Are you ready to catch me, the mayor? And the crowd says,
Yay!
Yay!
And the whole giant crowd starts to run.
And the whole giant crowd starts to run towards the mayor.
And the mayor starts to fall down.
And the mayor starts to fall down as he flips off the stage.
And there she is!
And
Joe
there
Biden
she
flips
is.
off the stage.
He's flipping off the stage. And the crowd catches him. And the mayor totally loses it. And he's squirming around and he's saying, Yay! Woo! You caught me! Yay! He's in a wave of people. Woo-hoo!
And the mayor starts to dance with those crazy moves. With the whole crowd starts to dance.
And the mayor
With
starts
those
to dance
electro
those crazy
swings.
moves. And the whole crowd starts to dance.
With your crazy holiday.
With your crazy
Louder.
holiday. And the whole crowd starts to dance. With your crazy holiday. Woo!
But the craziest, and the whole nation's got the mayor.
And the whole nation's caught the mayor.
And she's starting to.
And she started to. They start to chant. Mayor! 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 Mayor!
And
Mayor!
doing their own national dancing and flipping around.
And doing their own national dancing. And flipping around. Woo!
With those own national dancing.
With the mayor's own national dancing. Woo!
We caught the mayor.
We caught the mayor. It was so much fun. Yay! Yay! Woo!
Thank you for catching me.
Then the mayor gets back.
And the baby's going wild. We caught the mayor.
And the babies are going wild. We caught the mayor. Goo goo gaga.
And they throw their rattles up in the air.
And they throw their rattles up in the air. And they throw their bibs up in the air. And they throw their bottles up in the air. And they throw their binkies up in the air. And they throw their wipies up in the air. And they throw their fresh diapers up in the air.
And they throw their baby bib food.
And they throw their baby food up in the air. And they start to go goo goo gaga dancing all around.
And the whole everyone says.
And the whole everyone says.
Ew.
Ew, gross, disgusting baby food and diapers.
Ooh.
Ew, so much saliva and drool.
And the cops and firefighters caught the mayor and going wild.
And the cops and the firefighters caught the mayor and they're going wild. Woo! Mayor! 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 Woo!
And she starts to throwing things.
And they start throwing things.
Including baton.
Batons.
Walkie-talkie.
Walkie-talkies. Guns. Flashlights. Hats. Badges. Handcuffs. Tasers. Pepper spray. My eyes.
Watering hose.
Watering hose. What?
Hats.
Then they're hard hats.
Ladders.
Ladders.
firing machine.
And they throw their firing machines
up in the air.
Up in the air.
And the kids caught the mayor.
And the kids.
And the candy girl and candy boys totally loses it. And game girls and game bro totally loses it.
And the candy girls and candy boys caught the mayor. And the candy girls and candy boys and the game bros and the game girls totally losing it. Yay!
And they throw their, including.
And they
throw their candies up in the air.
Throw their candies up in the air, including candy canes, Kit Kats, Hershey Kisses, Reese's Peanut Butter Cups, Hershey Bars, Almond Joy, Rolos, Oreos, Gumdrops,
and
Fruit Roll-Ups and Gushers.
And lollipops.
And their lollipops up in the air.
And throws her mint.
And
peppermint.
they throw their peppermints up in the air.
And throws their
jelly beans.
Crossing cookies and cream up in the air.
And they throw their cookies and cream bars up in the air.
And the game girls and game bro throwing things, including
throw their games up in the air, including their game controllers, their Ataris,
joystick,
their joystick.
Oh my goodness, he threw their arcades up in the air.
Oh my goodness, he threw his arcade up in the air.
And throw their laptop in the air.
And they throw their laptops up in the air.
And they throw their mouse up in the air.
And they throw their mouse up in the air.
And they throw their SD up in the air.
And they throw their SD up in the air. And they throw their virtual reality goggles up in the air. Woo!
So you could boom to the sound of the fire.
To the sound of the fireworks.
And she stomps her feet with their national dancing.
And they stomp their feet with their national dancing.
And start to shaking to the left side.
And
shake it to the right side.
Shake it to the left side. Take it to the right side.
And shake it up high.
And shake it up high.
And bring her down like this.
And bring her down like the snow.
But the sound of the pop of the sparkling in the sky stopped. But then everyone starts to cheer wildly.
Yay! Woo!
And the mayor holds up and throws her back on the stage.
And the mayor holds up and he throws him
throw
back
her
on the
microphone
stage.
And said.
And throws his microphone and says, wow! What a crazy, amazing, awesome, spectacular show! And thank you above all for catching me, the mayor!
And thanks for going crazy.
And
that was so wildly crazy.
That was so wildly crazy holiday. Woo!
Did you guys have fun?
Did you guys have fun with the holiday?
Yeah.
Yeah, we did.
Ladies and gentlemen.
Ladies and gentlemen.
See you will catch the mayor again.
We hope to see you to catch the mayor again.
And mayor falls down the stage and takes her bow down. And the whole crowd starts to cheer.
Falls off the stage and takes
John
his
was
bow
saying,
down.
That was awesome.
And then John was saying, that was awesome. And everybody's cheering.
And tells you,
and then tells you, yeah.
You hear everybody clap.
You hear everybody clapping. Yay!
And Maddie tells you.
And Maddie tells you.
He took a bowing.
He took a bowing.
And all of us gets back on.
And all of us get back into the truck.
And John grabs their package.
And John grabs their package.
And take us to home.
And take us to home.
And Mom tells you.
And Mom tells you.
What's wrong with this traffic?
What's wrong with this traffic?
You want to know why?
You want to know why? Because
louder. All of us.
Mom
trying to tell you.
And everyone tells you.
Louder.
Especially the louder. Because